Welcome into 9 News at noon. I am Erica Lopez. Today, the family of former Colorado First Lady Beatrice Miller-Romer announced she passed away this weekend after a long illness. They say she was surrounded by her family, including her husband of 70 years, former Colorado Governor Roy Romer. She was 93 years old. B was by the governor's side during his 12 years in office. She was an education expert and the driving force behind Colorado's statewide preschool program. In 1964, she co-founded what is now the acclaimed Montview Community Preschool and Kindergarten. She also co-founded Stanley British Primary School and Stanley Teacher Prep Program in Denver. And in lieu of flowers, her family is asking that people donate to her favorite early childhood organizations, which include Montview and the CSU Early Childhood Center. Denver police investigators are asking for your help finding a man suspected of killing 2 people along the South Platte bike trail. Police think that both victims were homeless. They happened along the South Platte River right around the same time. Last Wednesday, a woman was shot and killed under I-70 near 45th Avenue and Washington Street just before 12:30. 3 days later, on Saturday, a man was found near West Florida Avenue and South Platte River Drive just after midnight. Denver police have added extra patrols in that area. Anyone with information about these 2 shootings are asked to call Crime Stoppers. They can call anonymously. That number is on the bottom of your screen right now. 2 weeks after a nearly $5 million settlement to people arrested during the racial justice protest in 2020, the city of Denver agreed to pay out another $1 million. Last night, the city council agreed to settle lawsuits with 6 people over how police handled the protests over George Floyd's murder. The protesters say officers hurt them with pepper spray and projectiles. The settlements range from $50,000 to $350,000. To date, Denver's paid out $4 million in settlements over the protests and settled another class action suit for nearly $5 million just 2 weeks ago. A $14 million jury verdict against the city still has not been paid. The city attorney's office told us they are working on an appeal. Right now, we want to take a live look outside right along I-70 here before the Eisenhower Johnson tunnels there. We are seeing some clouds out there in that blue sky peeking through. And we want to bring in meteorologist Keely Chalmers with a look at today's forecast because at least the sun's going to be shining today, Keely.
Yeah, a little bit of a cool start to the day, no doubt, but lots of sunshine out there. You just saw that shot up there at Loveland. Those clouds starting to move in over the high country. So about an hour ago, that shot was clear, but those clouds gradually filtering in. Still blue skies down here in the metro area. Temperatures sitting right at 70 degrees, so very mild out there in the metro area right now. 50s and 60s up there in the high country. Taking a look at our HD Doppler radar, we do have just a weak disturbance out there in the 4 corners, gradually pushing to the east, and that is going to bring us some precipitation, both in the form of rain, a little bit of wintry mix, and some snow down there in the San Juan. So higher elevations above 11,000 feet likely seeing some of that snow falling as that system, that moisture that is associated with that system moves through. Forecast highs today, we're looking at 77, so very pleasant, a few degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. Mostly sunny skies. How about partly cloudy overnight, but how about this? 80 by tomorrow. That's what I was going for, that 80 right there. With just a 20% chance for some showers tomorrow. We do have a very nice weekend forecast for you. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit.
Thank you so much. 10 years ago today, rain started in Colorado and it did not stop for days. Storms drenched the state and fueled devastating floods from mountain towns to farms on the eastern plains. In 2013, rain was filling up streams in Boulder and flooding parts of CU's campus. Some spots got almost a year's worth of rain in a matter of days, and sadly 9 people died. This week, we're looking back at the damage and how Colorado has recovered 10 years later. Our very own Jennifer Meckles walks us through the timeline and how the floodwaters spread across the state.
We interrupt our regular programming to join you because of a developing weather situation that has turned deadly.
On the night of September 11th, the storms started getting more intense, and they just didn't stop. The first rounds of flooding cut off roads and triggered mudslides.
Kim and Mark, the sirens are going off. There's an audible warning. We're going to leave our position here. I don't know when we're going to be able to rejoin you at this point, but we need to leave.
By the second night of nonstop rain, Boulder Creek's worst flooding in 75 years triggered evacuations. Streets all over town were flooded, trapping cars and washing away pieces of homes. Our own Cheryl Preheim helped push drivers through water that just kept rising.
Cheryl's just got such a good heart. She's out there pushing people out of the water at this flooded intersection in Boulder, I tell you what.
Boulder County called in the Colorado National Guard, bringing in helicopters to search the flooding and rescue people stranded.
The city of Boulder will not be sleeping much tonight.
There are so many people they are unable to reach.
When the rain finally started letting up on Friday the 13th, Lyons was cut off from the rest of the state. The only way in and out of Estes Park was through Trail Ridge Road, and the floodwaters were spreading out from the foothills east onto the plains.
It does look like some livestock that's just found some high ground in all the water.
Nearly every road in and around Greeley and Evans was flooded, along hundreds of acres of farmland.
Boy, that just looks like a tough spot to be in. Look at the depth.
The rain came back that weekend, hitting spots that had already seen a year's worth of water in a matter of days. By the end, more than 1,900 square miles were flooded across 18 counties. That's an area larger than the entire state of Rhode Island. 9 people died, more than 19,000 evacuated, 2,000 homes were destroyed, and 26,000 others damaged. Jennifer Meckles, 9 News.
Colorado is no stranger to natural disasters, but they never get any easier to manage. The man in charge of leading Colorado's efforts say the state is better prepared now. But when the next natural disaster strikes, Colorado will still need help.
And unfortunately, we have a lot of practice since 2013 with large incidents and coordinating around them. That is what gives me confidence that, if we have this again, we will be able to come together and address it. But like I said, that type of event is overwhelming for any one state. We'd be pulling in help from across the nation, just like we did in 2013.
Kevin Klein is the director of the Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. He says Colorado is working to mitigate natural disasters, things like fire mitigation to reduce the threat from fires. In the case of the 2013 floods, they've rebuilt some towns to better handle and manage flooding. But he says local communities need more state and federal funding to tackle bigger projects. The floods touched so many communities across our state, and this week 9 News is looking back at the devastating toll and bringing you stories of resilience from across the flood zone. Our crews will be live tonight from the hardest hit communities. We will be highlighting the survivors who have rebuilt their towns, and some of them for the second time. We'll look at how climate change is shifting the flood threat in Colorado and the state's plan to make us safer.